Okay, here's the current situation. I am still halfway through Metal from Heaven. You will remember this from my Full Moon Readathon vlog. And guess what? I have not read it anymore since Full Moon Readathon ended, and this is a book club book for this month, and so I need to read it. And then I also very impulsively started the Thursday Murder Club last night because the movie comes out actually while I'm filming this vlog. The movie will come out, and my mom's read all the books, and I invited her over to watch it because she doesn't have Netflix, and I thought it'd be fun to read this before I watch the movie, so I'm like 70 pages in. And then I am behind on Jan Agaton's. I feel like this is just like a Jan Agaton fan account now. I've talked about her so much, but seriously, I just love her content. On her Patreon, she has a coffin covers challenge, and you're just reading a book with the thing on the cover, and August is cat, and I haven't done it yet. And so I just very impulsively grabbed these 3 books from the library. I'm counting this as a cat. Even though it's a wild cat, it still counts as a cat. These were like the first 3 books I found at my library that had cats on the cover. And I don't know if any of these would have been my first pick, but these are just what I found with like 15 minutes until my library closed. So I gotta pick which one I want to read, but I feel like I gotta finish. My family's so loud. I gotta finish one of these first. So I'm gonna sit down and I am going to read a chapter of Metal from Heaven, but these chapters are really, really long, so that'll take me a while. And then I'm gonna read 50 more pages of the Thursday Murder Club, and then we'll see where I am from there. So that's the plan. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm not quite halfway through Thursday Murder Club, but I thought I should maybe give you a proper update. This is the first book in a cozy-ish murder mystery series, and we're following 4 characters who live at this retirement community called Cooper's Chase. And we have Ibrahim, Elizabeth, Joyce, and Ron. And at the beginning of the book, obviously somebody is murdered, and they are trying to solve the murder. They call themselves the Thursday Murder Club because every Thursday they meet and they go through cold cases and try to solve them. And so when there's actually a murder committed at Cooper's Chase, they're all a little excited about it. And the chapters are really short, and there's a really fun mix of perspectives. We get Joyce's diary entries as well. It is in present tense, which my brain always struggles with a little bit. So while this is a quick read, I'm definitely not reading it as fast as I feel like I could if it was in past tense. But the present tense, I don't know why present tense slows me down, but it does. And I am definitely struggling. It's not my favorite murder mystery I've read so far, though I'm not even halfway through, but it's definitely more compelling than anything else I'm currently reading, so it's what I keep picking up. I wish I had access to the audiobook because I bet the audiobook for this is really good, but I've heard it described as a very British book. Like, there's a lot of British humor in it, and I think that part is delightful. I do love British humor. It's so dry and sarcastic, and I think that part's really fun. And I also think just knowing who the 4 actors are who are playing our 4 main characters, I think the movie is going to be perfectly cast. I don't know if like the script will be good or if it'll be a good adaptation, but I think their casting is really good because I'm definitely able to picture the 4 actors in these roles as I'm reading it. Like Ibrahim's voice, it sounds like Ben Kingsley in my head. Like I just slotted it in because that casting is so perfect. So I'm gonna keep reading. I have no idea who did it. I know who I want to have done it because I think he's a creep and needs to get locked up. But yeah, I don't know who it is. And I think it's kind of funny that I might have said this already, but with how many vlogs I've watched with this book, I've even watched a couple spoiler-filled vlogs where they've talked about who the murderer was, but I don't remember who the murderer is. So I'm just like along for the ride right now, and I have no idea who it could be. So I'm gonna knuckle down. I am on page 150. I did not quite make my reading goal last night. I got sleepy. But I was like 3 pages shy, so I'm not even that mad about not getting to my reading goal. It continues to be really hot here, so I'm going to continue to hide inside with the AC on and read my book. Still working on Thursday Murder Club. This one has just kind of claimed all of my attention, so I haven't really picked up Metal from Heaven, sadly. I'm on page 278 out of just under 400. I think I have about 100 pages left to go. And, less than 100 pages. I went on IMDb to look at who the rest of the cast is because I knew David Tennant was in it too, and I really wanted to see who David Tennant plays because I love David Tennant. And he's playing the asshole character that I hate so much, and I'm so upset that I have to watch him be a creep in the movie. It's gonna be so sad for me. It's like my husband and I are 5 years late to the party, but we're finally watching Ted Lasso. But my kids and I are also watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And Anthony Stewart Head, who plays Giles, I've just forgotten everybody's name, but he plays a creep in Ted Lasso. In the episode where he showed up, my elation at seeing him in something else was followed so quickly by being distraught that he was playing a creep. And I feel like I'm going to have a similar emotional roller coaster with David Tennant playing Ian. And Ian in this book is the guy that owns Cooper's Chase and is wanting to buy up the land around Cooper's Chase. And he's just an absolute creep in all the ways. Like the most toxic man who, like, and you can tell that he's just like an amalgamation of so many real men who are creepy in this way. And I just hate him so much, and it's going to suck to watch David Tennant play him, though I'm sure David Tennant is going to do a bang-up job of playing this character. I do appreciate that at 278 pages, I have no idea who the murderer is. We had a second murder a while ago, and I really appreciate that Richard Osman is giving you different scenarios and different possibilities of who it could be. But he'll introduce, like, a character will have a theory, and he'll introduce, it could be this person because they had this motive and this opportunity and da-da-da-da. And then something will happen, and that option will get taken off the table. And be like, okay, well, who else could it be? And then he'll introduce another one. And then something will be revealed, and that will get taken off the table. And so the person I thought could have been the murderer initially, he has now died. So it can't be him. And another person I thought it would be, like, has an alibi and couldn't have done it. And the second murder really threw a wrench in a lot of my theories and a lot of the main characters' theories. And I feel like Elizabeth knows who it is, but we don't know yet. And I don't think the police officers in the book know either. I have no clue who the murderer could be at this point. Like, no guesses, no theories. I don't normally have any guesses or theories because I'm usually, like, just here for the ride and for a good time. So I don't usually try to predict how mysteries are going to end. But I'm very curious to see how this is going to wrap up. It's probably going to be like a 3.5 or a 4. It's not my favorite mystery I've ever read. I do feel like it might be a little long. I mean, it's 350, right? Yeah, it's 350. So not, I don't know. There's just been a couple times where I'm like, ooh, I feel like we could have tightened this up just a little bit, and like being even 325 pages or 300 pages just would have made it clip a little bit quicker. But I am intrigued. I am interested. I just don't love any of the characters. I think that's why it's more like a 3.5 or a 4. Though, I mean, I haven't even gotten to the mystery reveal yet, and that could totally change my rating. As much as I like the idea, and I think the execution is good, I'm not as invested in Elizabeth, Abraham, Ron, and Joyce as I feel like I should be. I feel like I should be more emotionally invested at this point, but maybe I shouldn't be, and maybe that's going to come in later books. And it's okay that I'm not emotionally impacted by things that are happening to these characters. Because a couple of sad things have happened to a couple of them. And I feel like I should be more saddened or upset by it than I actually am. I'm hoping to finish this tonight since I only have like, less than 100 pages left, 75 pages left. And my husband's going out with a friend tonight. And so it'll just be me and the kids. And I suspect they will want to watch a movie, which will be prime reading time for me. So, and hopefully I will come back later with a final reading and final thoughts, because I'm definitely getting to the point where I feel like I need to finish a book. Like, I'm getting antsy. I need to finish something. I need to feel like I'm making progress and checking things off of my to-do list. So I need to finish a book, because I feel like I caught myself yesterday or this morning being like, maybe I should start something short just so I finish something. But no, I'm going to stay the course. I'm going to finish this book before I start anything else. Good morning, friends. It's Tuesday? Yeah, that sounds right. I just got done at the bookstore getting content for the next week, and I stopped to get coffee because I haven't had any yet today. I don't know if I've talked about this. I don't think I have, but I recently kind of like mixed up my morning routine where I used to have coffee ASAP and then not eat until I've been awake for like 2 hours. It wasn't like the best. And so I've since switch that around, and now I have herbal tea, some sort of like lemon tea first thing in the morning, and then I eat breakfast, and then I have coffee. And it has helped for so many things. It's helped so many things. I find I don't crash mid-afternoon the way I used to. Sometimes I do, because I'm not like superhuman, but it used to be like every afternoon I would crash, and I don't. And I also stay full for longer in the morning, which is great because I usually am teaching for 2.5, 3, sometimes 4 hours in the morning. And it's just nice to not have to try to find 5 seconds to like shove a snack into my face. So anyways, just thought I'd share because it's helped a lot. And I was pretty skeptical when I started switching things around. So I haven't had coffee yet. So I'm going to grab a coffee before I go home. And I did finish Thursday Murder Club last night. I'm giving it a 3.5. I thought the resolution was needlessly complicated to the point where it was kind of hard for me to track what was happening. So like what all the reveals, because I can't say that. That's a spoiler. Yeah, I'll just see if it makes more sense in the movie when they explain who did what, when, where, how, who, than it did in the book. Because I definitely got lost a couple times in the book, which I don't love that. So yeah, I'm going to have to just see if it makes more sense in a visual medium than it did. Well, reading's a visual medium, but you know what I mean. Anyway, so I finished that and feeling pretty good about actually finishing things. And so now Metal from Heaven like gets my full attention, and I don't know why I'm struggling with that book so much. I was wondering this morning, because every time I read August Clark before now, it has been on audio, and I think August Clark's writing style for me really lends itself to having it read to you, kind of like how Stephen Graham Jones, I feel like his writing style is sometimes better served in an auditory medium. And I'm wondering if August Clark falls into that same category for me. But since I talked about this in a different vlog, so I'll just mention it here. Vico Ortiz does the audiobook for Metal from Heaven. And while I love Vico Ortiz as an author, the one time I've listened to them narrate an audiobook, they were pretty flat performance-wise. And I didn't have a super great time. Like, it wasn't bad. They didn't make the book bad. They didn't make the reading experience bad, but I wanted more of a performance and less of a, I'm going to read this book to you type of thing. Like, I always want a performance, because if they're just going to sound like they're reading the book to me, I can just read the book to me. I don't need somebody else to do that. It's also not easily available, so like I would have to pay for it somehow. Like, I'd either have to pay for it from Libro because I've already used my credit for the month, or I would have to resubscribe to Everand. And then what if I like do that and then unlock it and I listen to a chapter and I don't like it and I end up reading it all physically. So anyways, so I'm gonna switch over and focus on Metal from Heaven, and I'll try to get a review or an update on what that synopsis is. And today's kind of busy because we are leaving to go on a mini vacation tomorrow. So I need to start prepping and getting our house ready because my sister's going to come over and take care of our geriatric cat. And then my twins have their last afternoon of volunteering at our library. My middle kid and I have eye doctor appointments, and then I have a work meeting. I guess what I'm saying is I will do the best I can, but no promises. Okay, for now, we're going to go get coffee and get on with this day. So my husband and the kids went on a walk while I start making dinner. Careful I don't fall down these stairs. And we are at the beach for my youngest's birthday. They just turn 10 tomorrow. So we just ran away for a few days before school starts and all the hecticness. And 10 feels like a good birthday to go on a little beach trip. We did stop at a bookstore, like I showed you, and I ended up getting Among Thieves by MJ Con. This has been on my radar for a long time because it's supposed to be have Caitlin vibes from Arcane, and so I've had it. Can I put you here? Yes, I've had it on my bookshop.org wish list for a long time, so I thought I'd get it. And then I also snagged this really cute little bat coffin bookmark. This is like one of my favorite bookstores. We don't live close to it, so obviously I don't get to go as often as I want, but it's called Bob's Beach Books, and their curation of books is so good. I was so tempted by that copy of Calabasas, but I think I'm going to wait and see if the bookstore I work for has any copies, and then I can use my store discount, my staff discount, to buy it because it's $35 and I just couldn't bring myself to do it. So I better get to cooking now. I have not made very much progress in Metal from Heaven, but I brought it and we'll see how much reading I'm able to get done while we're staying in this, like, it's so tiny, but it's tiny little house. Okay, what if I paused this book? Because on one hand, I feel like I'm almost done, but really, like, that's not almost done. That's a good, like, at least 150, probably closer to 200-ish pages. But I'm so reluctant to pick it up. I'm not having a fun time, which is breaking my heart so much because I love this author and I was so excited for this book. Like, it was one of my most highly anticipated books for last year, but I'm not having a good time. So I don't know what to do. But I am leaning towards a soft DNF or a pause and maybe trying again with the audiobook and hoping maybe Vika Ortiz narrating this one is a different experience than it was for the other book that I read that they narrated. I don't know what to do. I wanted to love this one so much and I just don't. And if it was any other author, I would DNF. Hi, we are obviously back from our little vacation, and I have some reading updates to give you. And hopefully having the windows open won't be a mistake, but it's so nice outside. So I think we'll just have to deal with the ambiance of Saturday morning in a neighborhood. So as you saw, I did read Creepy Cat. This I picked up because my oldest picked it out when we went to the bookstore. And on Jan Agaton's Patreon, she does a coffin cover challenge every month. And the challenge for this month was to read a cat on the cover. Ooh, I think I talked about this already because I had those 3 books in the library that I was considering for that prompt. I read this instead. It was just so short and I just needed to read a short book. And this is a manga. I gave it 3 stars, 3.5 stars. It's not for me, but it was cute. It was entertaining. It starts off as vignettes of this girl who like lives in this house by herself, and she's got very gothic, you know, energy, like very Wednesday Addams kind of aesthetic. And then this cat just shows up. And the cat occasionally does creepy things, and initially they're little vignette scenes, and eventually it does turn into like a kind of a cohesive storyline, but it matches my oldest's aesthetic so well, and they were so excited about it, so it was good to read it because they were so excited about it, and then I got to like share in their excitement with them. But definitely, like, I am not the target audience for this book, but I think like if you just want like a short, cute, brain off kind of time, it was really good for that. And then I did end up getting the audiobook of Metal from Heaven from Libro because it was on sale. It's only like $6, and I really liked Vico Ortiz's narration in this. I don't know if they've gotten more practice under their belt in between the audiobook I listened to a couple years ago and then this one, but it was a much better experience for me. So I really liked their narration, and that helped a lot. I think what I've learned this month between reading this and reading The Starving Saints is that fever dream is not a buzzword for me. Like, books that get fever dreamy don't work for me. I think they get too, I don't know, like not grounded in reality. And I apparently, maybe even though I do like a whimsical book, I do need a little bit of like grounding when I read. Maybe that's my Enneagram 5-ness. Who knows? Because this was so fever dreamy, and it does a lot of the things that I really like about August Clark's writing. Like, it is very feral. It's so queer in like multiple spectrums. Like, there's a wide range of spectrum of queer representation in this book, and I love all of that. And I love how unapologetic August Clark is in his writing. And so that stuff I all loved, but I didn't love Marnie. And I don't think I've talked about what this book is about at all in this vlog, but at the beginning of the book, Marnie, our main character, is a child, and her family works in this factory making things with this substance called ichorite. And ichorite, it can be used to build a lot of things. It's a real versatile substance in this world. But if you are handling ichorite and you are pregnant, your child that you are pregnant with will be born with, I guess, what's essentially birth defects. And Marnie is a child of a factory worker, and so Marnie is born, and when Marnie touches ichorite, she hallucinates or has fits, is what she calls it. And at the beginning of the book, Marnie's family, all the factory workers that work in this ichorite factory, are striking because of unsafe working conditions, not enough pay, working really long hours, and the owner of the factory, Chauncey, he has everybody slaughtered, and Marnie's the only one who escapes. And so then we're following Marnie as she finds a new family, basically, and becomes a highwayman, and then finds out as an adult that Chauncey's daughter is looking to get married. And so then Marnie and her found family of thieves hatches this elaborate plot for Marnie to court Chauncey's daughter so that Marnie can then kill Chauncey. This is all on the synopsis. And how do I want to start this? this is a very stream of consciousness. And a lot of the times I really like that. In this, it was hard for me to really latch on to Marnie. Like Marnie as a character felt very like slippery and slithery. I had a hard time like latching onto her as a person to follow throughout this book. And I think it is a combination of just the stream of consciousness writing style with Marnie having hallucinations. So sometimes it was hard to tell what was really happening and what Marnie was seeing. And so that was hard. I also think the pacing was a little weird. And you know, the tag at the bottom under the title is Fear Her Wrath. And I never felt like Marnie was as rageful as I wanted her to be. Like I wanted her to be really angry. And while I did feel that she was angry, I think because of the hallucinations and because she's not always there, I think I was missing a lot of that rage. I wanted the rage to feel more visceral and it felt more dream-like for me while reading this. And then, yeah, I felt like the pacing was kind of off. She's a child for a long time. Like the courting part is like this much of the book. Like we don't get to that until here. And then the focus is on so many different things. And it just was not I think not what I expected having read Clark's YA series. I think I was hoping for that, but just maybe with more steam. And I think this being a full fantasy world, whereas the YA series is our world with magic in it, and this is a full fantasy world. And so I think that also had me confused or not as engaged as I could be, because in Scape Racers, even when that book has its fever dreamy moments, because it's in our world, I still felt rooted. I also loved the main character. Like Sideways in that series is like one of my favorite main characters I've ever read. They're amazing. I love them so much. And I just didn't love Marnie the same way. So I didn't have that love of the character to like pull me through what I was reading. So I ended up giving this a 3.25 on Goodreads, which is heartbreaking for me in so many ways because I really thought this was going to be a 5-star. But like I said, I think what I've learned this month is if a book is described as a fever dream, I shouldn't read it because I probably will not have a good time with it. And if that is the case with like one of my favorite authors, then I think that's just the case across the board. But I am happy I finished it because I really thought I was going to DNF it and I did not want to do that. So with that very sad review out of the way, I think I'm going to end the vlog here because it is Saturday. The last day of August is tomorrow, and I do not anticipate finishing anything else before the end of the day tomorrow. I actually don't anticipate doing very much reading in the next 36 hours. So yeah, this feels like a good place to end it. I think it was an okay week of reading. I have definitely felt very scattered this week between work things and going on vacation. My youngest turned 10 while we were on our trip, and it just, this week had a lot of like real life things that I wanted to focus on and very little reading time, which I'm noticing is kind of a trend this year, is that I am having more life and like real world things capture my attention, and I'm not prioritizing giving that attention to books as much, which is fine. It's just the season of life that I'm in right now. I'm sure it'll flip back around at some point, maybe this winter when the weather's less ideal. Oh, my husband and I watched half of the Thursday Murder Club last night. It is a 2-hour movie and we started it kind of late and then I got sleepy. So we're gonna finish it tonight. I can tell you though, based off of my first hour of watching it, because I did forget that I read Thursday Murder Club into this vlog until a minute ago. I don't love the movie. My husband's really entertained by it. I think I would like it better probably if I hadn't read the book first, but I do feel like they are simplifying the mystery quite a bit, and they have made a lot of changes to the plot, like the motivations for things, which I find interesting, and they're being a lot more heavy-handed with the clues than the book is. I do love the performances. Again, I think those 4 actors are so well cast. I think the acting is all stunning. I really like the actress that's playing Donna. I think she's so good. So I think the performances are all great. I don't love the script. in case anybody wanted my unsolicited review. But anyways, let's go ahead and wrap this up. If you would like to leave an emoji to let me know that you made it to the end of the video, let's leave a wave emoji. And like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll talk to y'all in the next one. Bye!